Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Omar from the Bullish Bears team. I wanted to do a video building my watch list for tomorrow, March 9th. It's currently about 9:30 in the evening, and I just wanted to, build my watch list and talk about a couple of plays. Now, I took one play today, and actually, I traded it two times actually, um, because it's just hard to trade at work. So there was a lot of plays, but the one that I was looking at was actually NUGT, and I haven't really talked much about it. But you see this green line here. This is a VWAP, so a volume weighted average price, and a lot of traders use VWAP as support and resistance for their entry and exits, and it can be an excellent indicator to trade. um Basically at the start of the market, and I watch and I watch NUGT should be a stock that, you no matter how the market's doing, you should always put on your watch list, because it always trades with a tremendous amount of volume, and the executions are very quick because of that. And it's a very volatile stock, and if you know how to follow trends, you can kind of you can do very well trading the stock. Also, JNUG follows NUGT. So whatever JNUGT does, JNUG follows. So sometimes you can trade JNUG, and you see it has more volume. You want to know why? Because it's cheaper. That's all. That's really why. So if you see NUGT spike up, look, when the market opens, it spiked up. Look what JNUG did, spiked up too. So like they almost work in unison. It's kind of weird. And I probably should have traded this because it was cheaper and I could have sized in more. But I took some big size. I had extra cash in this account today, so I was able to size in today, and I made roughly about a little over $2,000. Um, so what I did was, so the market opened, and I'm trying to help a couple of the members in the group. So I was trying to teach them like how to use VWAP as your entry. So what you do is basically VWAP would be your entry. So what I did was I saw the market open, and I kind of saw the stock consolidating here. And once I saw VWAP break above once I saw the stock break above VWAP on the 1 minute chart, that was my entry. So VWAP at this moment right here was 751. Right here at 752, I got executed. And what I did immediately was put a trend line like this to kind of follow the stock. So I just all I do is just watch the stock as it follows the trend. Um, this entry wasn't big. I think I took I bought like 1,000 shares, and I watched it go. My entry was 752, and and I saw it gap up to about 767, and then it just and then right here, right when I saw that it was actually breaking the trend, I just sold my position. So I got out. So I got in at 752, and I got out at like I think it was 765. So I made like 12 cents. I made a little over $100 really quickly. This happened in a span of what 941, about 10 minutes, right? So what I noticed about NUGT, and you can look for it yourselves, is the 5-day, 5 minute chart, is that it usually gaps up, sells off, and then it has like either a big move one way or the other. It usually happens for some reason at a little bit after 10:30. And so what I did was I was talking to one of the members in the, I think it was Lucian, because I'm helping with VWAP, and you know so so I actually showed them. I actually sent pictures when I took the actual trade, and then I sold. And then what I said was, I said, okay, I'm gonna watch this again, because I bet you it's gonna go above and it's gonna spike up hard. And that's what happened. So theoretically, what happens is you can watch the stock again, and then theoretically, if it breaks below VWAP, you can short it. And you could have. Let's say if you took that, if you follow that strategy, right at 754, you put a short entry, and it didn't dip too low. It got to 745. But I wasn't really looking to short it back down. I just anticipated it to spike, because if you look at the 5-day, 5 minute chart, you see 749 was the previous low. It hit 743. I didn't think it was gonna get much lower than that, and I said, you know what? This thing goes above VWAP again. I'm gonna size in, and sure enough, it right here at 754, it went above VWAP, and and I took another entry, and if you watch it, you see it's forming like this flag pattern. You know, that's also another like confirmation. But you see how it kind of goes above VWAP and then it bounces. Well, right here on this bounce at 755, this is where I sized in. I got in about 5,000 shares, and I wrote. And if you see the MACD, if we're watching this, right, couple of confirmations here. You're getting a volume push here, right, on the 1 minute. You're seeing the TTM squeeze. It's going from red to yellow, meaning that it's starting to gain momentum. And then when you see that blue, that's that TTM squeeze that's about to pop. But the best confirmation is when the green line rolls over the red line, and that's when you know. So those are all confirmations that this is about to get a push. Okay, but really I was really focused on the VWAP. So at that point I got in and I just rolled it up. And you see how it comes back down and it touches VWAP, but it never dips below it. VWAP now plays as resistance. I'm sorry, as support. I'm sorry. And so my stop was 2 cents below VWAP. So VWAP was 755 at this point. 753, I think I had my stop set for. So that if it dipped below and it dipped below 753, I got stopped out. No big deal. But I was in heavy and I just watched it right up, you know, and it just rolled. You see how it gets above the 9 and 20 EMA and it just kind of rises up. And then you get this, and you see the squeeze. You get this big volume push. TTM squeezes up. You get another confirmation here that it was going to rise. And I just rolled this up. I got the little pullback here. And then you got that second push. And then you know, then it sold off. And I actually once it pulled back here and I got the second push, I sold right in here. So I got executed, but I think it was like at 788. So altogether, I made like, I don't know, a little over $2,000 after commissions. I did very, very well. And then, you know, you could have took this short. So if you follow my strategy and you see, I always tell people when a stock is gapping up like this, you know, you should always put a trend line to kind of get a sense of the trend. But what you should know is when you follow the trend and you see it break the trend, you get that little pullback, you know, you want to see if you get a tremendous volume push, you know, sell pressure, then you know it's going to collapse. But here, it just kind of like bounced right to the 9 EMA, and then it got that second push. And then you could have just shorted this back down. I didn't short it. I wanted to, but I just had to. I had work to do, so I couldn't. But I could have made another killing just shorting this all the way back down. And look what happens. You see how it kind of comes back down, and then it sort of gets right to like VWAP, and then it bounces up. So VWAP places support. So that's why a lot of people use VWAP to get into trades. And they use VWAP as their support and resistance level. And you see how it comes back up and then it comes back down and briefly goes below VWAP and then comes back up. So yeah, VWAP is sometimes can serve as a great indicator for stocks. That was my only trade. There was a lot of good plays here today. You know, there was a lot of movement. Some of the stocks that I told you were going to sell off that were overextended were. Momo was like the big winner. I mean, look at this thing. This thing went bananas. You know, it would open at 30. And 34, that was on my watch list. Cara did well too. There was a lot of movement there. It closed at the end higher than it opened. You know, there was a couple of other plays, but you know, and going back to Momo, if you see like your entry, like if you're looking at a stock like this, you're not too sure what to do. Say, hey, you know what? If this goes above VWAP and right here, you know, you could say, hey, VWAP is gonna be my entry. If it dips below VWAP, I'm out. You know, if you're not sure. But basically, if you get the volume push, you get the flag pattern here, you see? Get that bullish flag. And then on the 5-minute chart, you know, your entry should be the first candle to make a new high over the previous candle. So here would have been an entry on my 5-minute if you're not, you know, if you're not comfortable with the 1 minute. You know, here's another entry, another entry, another entry. And you see the little pullback, and then it just continues to go up. You know, so this thing just went bananas today. I mean, it really went crazy. I didn't, you know, you could have shorted here and you could have made some money shorting, but it didn't. You see how VWAP plays? This is VWAP. Look how VWAP actually plays support. So if you're watching this and not sure and you see this midday, you say, oh wow, look, it's bouncing off VWAP. That could have been your entry right here, and you could have just rolled this all the way up. You see how it touched VWAP again? VWAP is a great indicator sometimes too. When you're not sure how to make a trade, you can use VWAP, especially on these higher price stocks. VWAP plays great, and VWAP could also play resistance if the stock is like below it. Sometimes, let me see if I see one here. Um, let's see if so this goes above VWAP, kind of goes below it, but it never touches it never gets back up and touches VWAP. But sometimes you can see a stock, and I'm just trying to find an example of one so you can see. So for example, okay, here, this is not the cleanest chart here. Let me do it like a 5 day 5 minute. Let's do it like this. So you see how this stock sells off, and then it bounces up and it touches VWAP, and then it kind of sells off. Now, this didn't go anywhere, but some people, what they would do is they would see a stock go like this and say, oh, okay, VWAP plays resistance. I'm going to short it because it didn't break it. So sometimes people will take short positions based on that when a stock is selling off. And then they long it when it breaks above VWAP. So you see how it kind of touched it and then broke below it, and then it went sideways, and then it finally broke above it. So this could have been your entry, and you could have just got in quickly. And you put a stop loss and have it, move your stop loss as the profit goes up, so you can kind of, make sure you don't lose your profit. But you see how it kind of sells off, and VWAP plays now support, so VWAP can be a great indicator, especially in the afternoon when you're not sure where your entry is. Say, hey, if it breaks above VWAP, or if it touches VWAP and it bounces up, I'll make a trade. So it's a quick little tutorial on VWAP. I'll make another video more depth in. But let's build our watch list for tomorrow. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just click here. I'm gonna create watch list. I'm gonna call this 3917. I'm gonna hit save, and let's build our watch list. So for those of you that see my previous videos, there's a bunch of them now at this point. I look for stocks between 20 cents and $30 that have a minimum volume of 500,000 shares, no max, that up 5%. Okay, no max. And we hit scan, and we got, wow, today was hot, 71 stocks. All right. So what I do is I go to charts, and we're just gonna go through the actual stocks on the watch list. So here it is. That scan is right here. We're gonna see it's where it is. So let's go through. So let's start with the biggest percentage gain. Oh, you know what? And let me change this to the after hours scan just to make sure I didn't miss anything. After hours gap scan. All right, there you go. There's a couple. All right, so the biggest percentage gainer was OCRX today, 30 million shares. Wow, it was very, very volatile. And look at this. Man, it's opened at 85 cents. Wow, it's closed holding its highs, right? That's, what did I say? We always look for stocks that are holding their highs because the anticipation is, right, that they're going to be volatile the next day, right? And you can make a trade either long or short. Now, if you're watching this and you're not sure what your entry was, look at my scenario where I was talking about VWAP. Look how VWAP, it dips below VWAP just for a second, but then you get that push. So if you're looking at this at the end of the day and you're not sure what to get in, I say, hey, I'm gonna look at VWAP. If it breaks above VWAP, that's gonna be my entry. And if it breaks below it, I'm gonna stop out at like maybe a couple of cents below it, because sometimes you get a little slippage, and boom, look at that. You could have got in and you could have made some money into the close. And look at this thing still rocking. So this is gonna be on our watch list for tomorrow. So let's just put it on the watch list. OCRX. It'll be volatile tomorrow for sure. Because it's holding its highs, my expectation is that the market open may have a little pop, and then it's gonna pull back and sell off. Let's look at the yearly chart, see where it's done. So this is a stock that, wow, completely collapsed, probably on some bad news. There is no resistance between this and $2. So maybe it rips up to $2 tomorrow because there's nothing stopping it. It's above the 9 and 20 EMA. I don't know where we can, sometimes too, it's always good to see like the simple moving averages to see where it is. Like if I put if I type simple moving average and I just add it just to see, I'm gonna put the 50-day. I'm just curious to see where the 50-day moving average is. And you could go to FinViz and just do this. I'm just being lazy right now, and I'll just change the color so I can differentiate this from everything else. Hit OK, hit apply, hit OK. And the 50-day, it's above the 50-day moving average right now. So this is the 50-day. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the 50-day. No. Yeah, the colors you can't even tell. All right, so let me see. Yeah, this is the moving average. That's the 9. That's the, oh yeah, it's the simple 50-day moving average. I'm sorry. This is it. So if you see, so it's below the 50-day moving average, which is 133. So it has to. So that's gonna play resistance as resistance tomorrow. So if it can break that 50-day moving average of 133, it can probably you'll probably see it. You know, it has a chance to get up to $2 tomorrow. So keep it on your watch list. All right. So with that said, let's keep moving on. Um, Next stop, HUSA. HUSA, look, another stock that, you know, it isn't. It had showed it traded 2 million shares on the 5 minute. You know, 5 days ago. This was 20 cents. Wow, this is already. This is at 40 cents now. So you know, it's held its highs. You know, it's a choppy stock. So you know, if you're gonna trade this, you probably, you know, you're gonna get a cleaner look on the 5 minute than the 1 minute. But you know, it's probably a pump. And you know, let's see what it's been over the last year. So this is a stock that, wow, it's really gapped up, and its high is 42 cents. So if you know, this is probably a stock that's going to give back, in my opinion, will give back its gains tomorrow, and it'll be a good short, because if it'll probably, maybe it'll touch 42 and then dip below it. You know, this is when having a broker like Speed Trade or Centerpoint is great, because they'll, you know, the locates will be easier with them. I'll put it on the watch list. You know, just for anybody who does short. And you know, maybe it runs. I mean, you never really know what a stock is gonna do, but my guesstimation is that it's gonna give it back tomorrow. Next up is Dries. Dries is running again. This stock is so manipulated. I mean, it's beyond manipulated. And you know, if you're following my theory about what to get in, let's say you see this, look at VWAP right here. If you could get as close to VWAP as possible, that's your entry. If it breaks above it, and look, you could have took it up into the close. All right. I'm gonna put it on the watch list, but be very careful trading this, guys. You trade the volatility, but you know, tomorrow this is probably gonna collapse. So if you can find shares to short, you know, definitely look to short it. All right. Next up is NYOS. NYOS ripped. Look at this. Wow, this thing had the little flag, popped up flag, and then you got that push, and then you kind of just pulled back. You know, and then it kind of dipped below it. So like, so for example, if you're using my VWAP trade philosophy, you know, you could watch this and say, okay, if it breaks below VWAP, I'm going to short it. And right when it broke VWAP, using VWAP as your, you know, as your entry, you could have shorted it back down. Okay, and you know, and look what happens. It touches VWAP, comes back down. Touches VWAP, comes back down. So that could have been another short entry, you know, here. If you missed the, you know, if you didn't get in on this one, you could have got it on here, shorted here, shorted here. So, you know, VWAP is a great indicator to help you kind of decide whether you want a long or short stock. Because, you know, this stock was 274 5 days ago. You know, it's probably going to give back its gains. Remember, when a stock moves on news, and I'm assuming there was some news here. So what was it? MYOS ran tech adopts shareholders' right plan. So there's some rights plan here, and that's what made it move. Tech enters into sales agreement with HC Warner to offer up 6 million common stock, and that's what made it move. Sometimes when stocks have like news, like they have multiple days where they can run at the open. You know, it's possible that tomorrow this can move. I would expect it probably be a good short tomorrow. It traded 4 million shares. We'll see. You know, we'll see. I'm not gonna put it on watch list. I'm gonna see what else is out there. Well, you can put it on yours. Let's see what else is happening. CAPN, choppy stock, no volume, right? FMIN, I mean, it kind of, you know, this is when I talk about when I say buy the dips. You know, when a stock sells off at the open, you see how it's sold off, completely sold off, and then it found its support here, and that's your entry to buy the dip. And look, if you would have bought the dip somewhere in here close to it, you could have just rolled it all the way back up. It's choppy, you know, and it kind of held its highs, and it's above VWAP. I'm not gonna put on the watch list, but I mean, theoretically, you could. ANTH is a stock that it keeps going up and down. You know, it's held its highs, has 2 million shares. I'm gonna put it on the watch list. This is probably gonna be a great short opportunity tomorrow. If you can find shares to short it, I say go for it. Let's keep moving on. NMMM, yeah, this is a stock that I love to trade. See how it just gapped up all day, and it's closing holding its highs. 5 days ago, this was 177. All right, let's see where it's been over the last year. You know, it's at 227. There's really nothing stopping it from going up. I don't know. It's above the 50-day moving average too. So, you know, I don't know what the 200-day moving average is, but you know, it has a chance to get up. So maybe it continues to grow, move up, but it's gonna pull back tomorrow. So this will probably present a shorting opportunity as well. Um, but maybe it continues to move up a bit before it pulls back, or maybe it sells off at the market open. We'll see. But it'll be volatile tomorrow, that's for sure. All right. Next up, CYCC is a stock that was at 391. It didn't have a lot of volume, but this stock 5 days ago was 352. And look at this; it kind of been gapping up. Let's see where it's been over the last year. It's had 5 green days, so you gotta expect a pullback at some point, right? To short into. Tomorrow may be that day, but it's not very liquid. Who knows though? What I would do is see what happens. If it breaks above VWAP tomorrow at the open, maybe you make a trade. Okay? Let's see on the 1 minute chart. And look, it pretty much for most part rode above VWAP all day long. I mean, maybe you might want to swing trade this. I'll put it on the watch list just cause it's me. But it's not liquid. It doesn't have a lot of volume. So this would be more for a swing trade, not really a day trade. We'll see. Next up, PIP. PIP, man, the market's hot, man. Look at this, 60 cents. It closed holding its highs. It's up after hours, 78 cents. This is probably a stock that you may be able to short tomorrow, but may gap up at the open. Let's see. Oh wow, this thing completely collapsed on news. Look how low it is. If you look at the yearly chart, the green is over the red, and the RSI is low. So this is very very oversold. So you might have a chance at a little pop, but you do have some. You see, you have all these are all resistance points. So the 9 EMA, the 20 EMA, and here's the 50-day moving average. So let's put it on the watch list. Let's see what happens in the morning at the market open. All right, let's hold its high. So goes on the watch list. Next up, HRB. Wow, HRB. Look at this. H&R Block. Wow, it went from $20 to $24. It went bananas today. So yeah, this is going to be on the watch list. I would expect this tomorrow to pull back, and so be on the lookout for a nice shorting opportunity for H&R Block, and for you options traders, you can buy some puts. All right. Let's see. AUXO went from $3 all the way. Wow, look at this nice rip at the open, beautiful, and then just kind of just sold off. Maybe it has another run in it tomorrow. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but maybe you may want to put it in yours. So let's see. Like, look, and there's another thing. So just another VWAP moment. So if you see a stock gapping up and it's selling off, and you say, okay, if it sells off, I'm gonna use VWAP as my entry, and you could have shorted it right once it dipped below VWAP. It for a moment it spiked above VWAP, but look, the rest of the day it looked like it just collapsed. So VWAP sometimes plays a great, it's great for entries as well. Just using VWAP. There's some traders that just use VWAP. They use nothing else but VWAP. All right. Let's keep going. Next up, BNKL. Nope. PXLW. Wow, this was a 380, and it ripped at the end of the day. Just gapped up, and then it kind of came back down, and it sort of bounced above. See, VWAP again playing, support. So, I mean, this was 380. Maybe it has another push. It must have had some news and had it spike. Nice flag pattern. See, up here, bull flag, and the last push, and then the sell off. I don't know. I mean, it might have something in it. It had volume. I'm gonna see what else is there. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but you may want to put it on yours. All right, let's move on. FW, not a lot of volume, but this was 217 5 days ago. It's up at 260, closed, holding its highs. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but you may want to put it on yours. AKZOY, nah, not liquid enough. EXTR was 611, hit a high of 711, and look at the nice fade into the close. I mean, it's overextended. I mean, this thing has the ability to get back. Might be a great short on opportunity tomorrow. I'm not gonna put it on the watch list, but you may want to put it on yours. GNMX. All right. Not very liquid. but you know, it had some moments of strength here, and it held its highs. You know, this might be a good swing trade. It was 475 5 days ago. I'll put it on the watch list just for you. You know, just so for some of you guys who may want to swing or hold all day. NAK is ripping again. This thing is starting to move. All right, 108, and look, see, if you're not sure what to do and you're not sure what your entry is, say, you know what, if it breaks above VWAP, I'm in, and this could have been your entry. But you know, the way I teach you guys, if you've been watching a lot of my videos, is, you know, you watch it go above, like, let's say you're watching the 1 minute chart, and when as soon as you get that pullback, this is your entry right here, right when it pulls back to the 9 EMA, and then you know, then you get in. If you're looking at the 1 minute chart, okay, you see the pullback here. It's not going back to the 9 EMA, but this is theoretically a pullback, and then you get in on the new candle to make the new high. So this would have been an entry here, and then this would have, once it broke this right in here, that's an entry. That's an entry. That's an entry. So the candle to make a new high with the previous 5 minute candle is your entry. You know, and you could have rolled this all the way up for a while. All right. So NAK, yeah, we'll put this on our watch list. Let's keep moving. A lot of stocks, right? EYS. Wow, this market is hot, man. 138. EYS, you know, had a nice little move. Closed at 180. Let's see where it's been at the yearly. I mean, this thing completely collapsed and sold off. You know, it's looking at the 50-day moving averages right there. It does have some. It has a chance to move. You know, it's starting to curl on the MACD on the yearly. It has some room for growth. It's starting to step up a bit. I mean, you may have a little pop at the open. I'm not sure, but I mean, it is holding its highs. You know, but it's a slow grinder. I don't know. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but you can put it on yours. MRNS. No, I don't like the chart. BLCM. This thing gapped up crazy, and look at that nice fade. It could have been a beautiful short. And look, again, if you're not sure what to short, say, hey, I'm going to see what it does. If it breaks below VWAP, boom, that could have been your entry. And it kind of goes above for a second, but then look, it just completely collapses. Let's move on. HRTX. All right, HRTX. Yeah, this is a stock that's holding its highs. Sold over 1 million shares. You know, may continue to run. Let's see. We'll see. HRTX. All right, moving on. KTOV. Nope, I don't like the chart. AT. And it is kind of holding its highs. I don't like the chart though. It's pretty choppy. Okay, nope. This thing, wow, gapped up pre-market and look, kind of sold off the rest of the day. BCRX. Wow, look at this. But that's why, yeah, look at this BioCrystal. Yeah, I remember this. This thing was ripping, and look at this. Completely, you know, it gave back a lot of its gains. Currently 805 right now. You know, it's volatile. Let's put it on the watch list. We'll see what happens tomorrow. The stock has been kind of like popping. You see how it like 5 days ago popped, and then had a little pop here. Every day it seems to like rip for a second. So, you know, you may have an opportunity to play the volatility tomorrow. You can keep an eye on it. ECRX. Right there. Move on. HIMX. Wow, another stock with bananas. Had that triple top, and then it kind of came down, but it's above VWAP. It's at 795. This was a 701. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be volatile. So let me move this up. And this. There you go. HIMX. Well, there's a lot of plays. Where is it? Okay, there it is. HIMX, and we're at NWBO. Nope. BITA. Wow, look at this. Oh yeah, this was on my watch list. Look at this. This thing is ripping again. Look, as soon as it goes above VWAP. Crazy. It gave back a lot of it yesterday. Guess what? Tomorrow, it's probably give back some more. It's going. Alright, let's keep going. CVRS. Nope. AVAM. Nope. CYTK. Yeah, you know, it's moving. It's kind of giving some back. 5 days ago it was 1135. You can put it on your watch list, I guess, theoretically. I'm not going to put it on my watch list, but you can put it on yours if you want it. CLRB, no, ugly chart. You know, you're going to have a nice little pop there, but not a lot of volume. FCSC, no. NKTR. There's a stock that I traded before. Yeah, this thing, when it moves, it has a lot of volatility. It was up, to 15, and after hours at 15.85. Let's put it on the watch list. Keep an eye on it tomorrow. See, may present a nice potential short, but it might continue to rip at the open. Remember, just because I say a stock has a potential short doesn't mean that it's not gonna move at the open, and you don't have a chance to play it, buy it, and sell it, and make money, long in it. All right, I just think it's gonna pull back at some point. Wow, look at CRB went crazy too. Look at this. Wow, it's crazy. $19. It's at 21.50, and it kind of consolidated, and you see it's like riding along VWAP. This thing may have more to give. Look at this. It's at it's at its highest point in the last year. So and it's not very liquid. But it might be a good shorting opportunity tomorrow. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but you may want to put on yours. LT, RPA. I mean, it's moving. It's sort of holding the ties above VWAP. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but you can put it on yours. IMMU gapped up to $5 and came down and held its. I mean, this thing ripped from 4 to 5, kind of bounced off. See what I mean? How VWAP plays support, and look, it's right above VWAP. So I would look at that, see what it's going to do tomorrow. May have another run in it, another day to run. We'll see. INVA, wow, so many plays, man, it's crazy. It's another stock that kind of gapped up, and after hours it's up. INVA, what it's been over the last year. I mean, it's had 3 green days in a row. So it's the 3-day rule is usually after 3. Usually, it has a pullback day, but we'll see. I mean, it was 11:41 5 days ago. I'll put on the watch list, just because it just gives you guys more options. Remember, just because we're putting all these stocks on the watch list doesn't mean that I'm looking at all of them. Out of all of these, you kind of figure out. You may finally determine to look at 1 or 2 when the market opens, but you keep them on the watch, just in case. All right, AV, another one. Look at this. This thing completely sold off pre-market, and then you could have bought the bounce. So once it found its support, look at that. You could have bought the bounce, and this thing just ripped. And that's what I was talking about, guys. Finding so when a stock just sells off, it's like a rubber band, like I said, right? If you stretch it too much one way or the other, it pops back. And look, once it found its support, it just kind of went. And if you wanted a clear confirmation, say, hey, if it breaks above VWAP, I'm in. But really, what you want to do is trade it as close to this as possible, using this as your stop. And yeah, I'm gonna put this on the watch list. This may be a good trade for you options traders. AVAV. Let's see what it's been over the last year. I'm just curious. Yeah, this thing has been as high as $32, and has room. It's up over here right now. It has some room to grow. So maybe you want for you. If it's too expensive of a stock to trade, maybe you buy a call or put. Depending on your strategy with options. PCFT. Wow, it is another stock. It went from it was $14 yesterday. It's at 15.87. Where it's been over the last year. Yeah, it's right at its highest point. So 15.97 is resistance. So my assumption is if it doesn't break it, it'll be a great shorting opportunity. It's not super liquid, 1.2 million shares, but you can look at it. Maybe you may want to short it tomorrow. Should I put on the watch list? Yeah, how many more stocks we got? We only got a few more. Yeah. I'll put it, just why not? MCFT. And let's see. Alright, last couple of plays. MITL. Wow, another stock that's holding its highs. It's pretty remarkable, but it's not very liquid. This might be a good swing trade for you. It was 6.40 5 days ago. I'm not gonna put it on the watch list, but you may want to put it on yours. Okay, BOT, another stock that's gapping up and holding its highs. It's pretty remarkable, but it has no shares. It had not a lot of volume. MILK, wow, look at this, Michaels. Yeah, I've been shopped here before. Kind of gapped up at 22.34, gave back. This was $20 4 days ago. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the watch list because especially for you options traders. My expectation is that tomorrow it's probably going to get back some more gains. It may be a good put. Next up, CNCE. Nope. BZ. Wow, it is. It was 13 bucks 2 days ago. Now it's 15.55, and it's above VWAP. I mean, this may be a good swing trade, on the upside. Where's it been over the last year? I mean, it's yet, you got a little bit of room here to get up to close to 16 bucks tomorrow. I'm gonna put it on the watch list and see. Maybe you get to close to 16 before it pulls back. Who knows? All right. Let's see, INFI. Nope, it's up after hours though. This thing went bananas after hours. Wow. It has no shares, but it's up apparently. Unless this is a glitch. INFI apparently is up. So, and you know what? So I don't even know if this is true or not. Yeah, just keep an eye on it. Maybe I'll put it in the morning if anything changes. Juno's ripped crazy. Went up and down. This was 20 bucks a couple of days ago. I'm not gonna put it on the watch list, but you can put it on yours. And then this is these after hours gaps. Latest PIP, which is already on my watch list. CAPN, TNXT, SHIP, OCRX, which is already on the watch list. NK, which is already on the watch list. EYES, MNFM, and MM. Those are on the watch list already. All right, so we got a lot of plays for tomorrow on the watch list. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. It's like over 20 stocks on tomorrow's watch list. All right, doesn't mean that I'm looking at 20. Out of these 20, you may find one or two very interesting. All right, or maybe there's some news that happens in the morning that supersedes all of these stocks. So, these are stocks that are volatile and should be in play. All right, normally I don't put this many, but I just put them on there so you guys can kind of look and see what you like. All right. So with that said, hope you find some value in this. I try to talk about VWAP a lot, so hopefully that makes sense. And see you guys. And remember, we're Bullish Bears, all right, on Facebook and on YouTube. All right. Have a good one, guys.